On this video, we're going to be talking about Raingear rain suits, a product that we've been riding with for over a year that we absolutely love is the Storm Rider by Rigg.
That's right, guys, and if you're not familiar with who we are, well, I'm TJ and this is Stephanie, and together we are the Ornery One, and on this channel you're going to see everything that we get into motorcycle related. Okay, Steph, let's show these folks what we've been riding with the last year. And we're talking about Raingear today on the Ornery One. Steph and I are going to break it down, all of our ins and outs and thoughts on the Raingear.
This is the Storm Rider by Rigg, their Raingear. It's a two-piece, the jacket and the pants. However, you can buy them individually. So the solo Storm gear, you can buy the jacket separate from the pants. You can buy just the suspenders. You can buy just their boot gaiters. We've been riding with the whole set, the whole giddy up, and we're going to break it down with you now.
What Rigg has done here, they've gave us something that's actually pliable, not rigid, not stiff. If you've ran Raingear before, it's one of the downfalls. It's absolutely horrible for comfort. This is absolutely the opposite. I run with this, and I prefer to run with this a lot of times whenever it's just chilly out. I'll throw these jackets on. And the other thing I do want to say really quick too, when it comes to sizing, I would like to throw this in there. It's very important for Steph and I to mention this. We run this as a way to stay warm as well. So a lot of times we put our chaps on and then we're able to put this Raingear over top of our chaps, which gives us another layer of protection as far as the cold and also deters the rain, because this is waterproof, guys, and it works so well and it breathes so good.
Yeah, so there is some great ventilation in this. Along the back of the jackets, there is a zipper across the back for ventilation. There's all mesh lining on the inside of it. You were talking about the fabric earlier. So the collar, it's really a soft collar. It's like a corduroy kind of felt, velvet kind of feel. I don't know what you actually call it, but that's on the inside of the liner of the collar. It's super comfortable, and it's not going to feel like it's got like a plastic hard rain coat up against your neck.
We've all had that before. You know, that's the most uncomfortable part. A lot is right up against your neck, rubbing as you're turning and riding, and also down here around your wrist.
Yeah.
So like you said, what they've done in line that they're out there, it's so much more comfortable.
It is. And also within this collar, there is the waterproof hood that is integrated into the collar. So if you're not needing your hood, you can roll it up if you want to put your hood on and then your helmet on top of that. The hood is thin enough so that you can wear your hood and then your helmet on top of it. Okay, a couple other things about their rain suit and their Raingear is, you mentioned the reflective colors, but also it has reflective accents on it. So even if you were to get the option of just the black top, then it also has the reflective trim accents on it. Let's talk about the zippers. What's one of the main things that aggravates you about rain suits and Raingear?
Yeah, well, for one thing is getting my feet down into the legs.
Yeah.
I absolutely struggle with that. I'm not a huge person.
Do you have anything up here that gets in the way of the zipper?
I was going to lead to that too. I always have something in the way of the zipper. And that, what I mean by that is my beard. I struggle with that in the past. I've had cheaper Raingear and I've spent some money on some Raingear, and I always struggle with my beard. And some of it, like Rigg, they do have this zipper, and then they have the Velcro that Velcros after you zip together. This is not a heavy Velcro, and what I mean by that is some of that stuff is so heavy and so easy to connect to absolutely everything. It just grabs on the stuff, grabs onto my beard, and actually pulls my beard when I turn my head. I don't know what the difference is. I'm no expert by no means, but I know that their Velcro is totally different, and it lays different.
Yeah, I was gonna say that one of the things that we like about this, it is the full zipper from top to bottom, but then it also has the storm flap that connects automatically. Theirs, though, it does have this extra fabric that lays behind and on top of the Velcro. So that's nice. So it's not just like a Velcro in the open where everything just automatically sticks to it. Is what I think the thing that you're struggling with.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Their Velcro is just, it feels different than a lot of Velcros. Like I said, no expert to Velcro, but there's a heavier top Velcro that's really stiff where it holds your jacket straight wherever that is. This is not the case with Nelson Rigg here. And you can hear it's different. Where a lot of them just like, and I mean, my God, that's the shit that sticks to my beard. I don't have that problem with Nelson Rigg. I have no idea why. I just know it works. And then the inner liner, like Steph was saying, is really nice because this is where it breathes. We ride 2-up all the time. As I'm heating up, I mentioned Steph, so she'll raise up the vent hood and then reach in there and just undo the zippers, which that lets all that hot air escape from your back. Right there at your shoulder blades where it all connects. And a lot of times I'll ride with it like that, and as the temperature's dropping, zip that back up. And what Steph does, like we mentioned earlier, she puts that hood over her head and then her helmet, lets that heat roll right up into her helmet.
So let's move on down to the bottom.
Oh yeah.
Not the bottom of the suit, but let's move on down to the bottom of the jacket. So
yeah, there's more to it.
Really cool feature that they do is they do the elastic waistband, but then also has the buckles where you can then tighten them and kind of like cinch it down. That's really handy to have so that it does actually tailor fit to the rider. 2 large pockets in the front there.
What I like about the pockets, they're big enough for to get my hand into. We've all got those Raingear that have the little bitty pockets you can't fit nothing into. Well, these are not that by no means at all. And once again, they've got that great Velcro over the top of the flap there. Like Steph was mentioning, how they fit this around your waist here. Another thing I'd like to mention about Nelson Rigg and what they've done with their Raingear on top here. If we've bought that cheaper, or sometimes the more expensive Raingear, it doesn't have this here, so it doesn't fit to you where you can't pull it down and snug it. And sometimes they'll fit you well, but when you're riding down the road and you're running 100, it seems that everything's gonna flop. Whatever can flop will flop. So that gives you an opportunity to really cinch it down and pull it tight.
And the last feature that I like about the Nelson Rigg rain jacket is the drawstring pull at the bottom of the jacket. So you can, of course, just have more of that ability to cinch it down and snug it to you.
And with all that being said, that too, like if it's cold weather, that helps hold in that heat. And when we're riding hard, fast, and heavy, it doesn't let that thing flop around.
So I'm going to drop down in the description the individual prices for these. Like I said, again, we're riding with the rain suit, so the top and the bottom. And I'm going to drop that information down in the description also.
Really quick too, guys, I wanted to touch base on this too, what Steph and I do. You're not seeing a review of someone that just got a product in and that rides to Walmart and back. Steph and I are running coast to coast, border to border with all the products that we talk about on our channel. And we only talk about products that are worth the money and that work. If the product does not work, we do not talk about the product, nor will we put it out there for you guys to even get a hint that we're running it. Now, in the past, we have made mistakes where we've ran products and we talked about them too soon. But with Nelson Rigg, we know that's not the case because we've ran with them for miles and miles and miles. And on the ornery one, we put people before product.
All right, so now if we move on to the pants.
Pantaloons.
And a couple cool features that I like about the pants.
Yeah.
And I think you mentioned this before. We've rode with probably 4 different brands of rain gear.
Correct.
And there's been 2 of them that stand out to me that don't have this feature. And it was actually one of the first things that we noticed that was a big flaw and a fail on those suits. And so I was super glad to see that Nelson Rigg had incorporated it and took care of this problem. And that is the heat reflective thicker material on the inner thighs and the lower legs, because we all are riding a motorcycle, right? And it gets hot. So that extra protection is vital, especially if you're going to be riding for hundreds of miles in the rain. Your bike is going to heat up after so many miles and so much time, and it's valuable. It's great.
And the wind. Well, we talk about this material too, how it lasts. Now, what we're talking about is how we wear it and how it holds up to the elements. Now, what Steph is talking about, what we've seen in the past rain gear that we've ran, is the inner thigh. That inner thigh will get air whipped, right? It'll become thin And over mile after mile, whenever you get off and get back on, due to heat and that wear from the wind, when you throw your leg up over that bike, they'll rip. How many times have we all bought that rain gear that's ripped on the inner thigh? Nelson Rigg, they've took care of that problem and they've thought about it, and you can tell that they've product tested this stuff.
Yes.
It shows.
Just like the jackets, the waist has the elastic built into it. Also, the buckle system where you can then really tighten them down. Very ventilated. It's not going to be like a sweatsuit wearing it. We've rode them for many miles in the heat, in the cold, in the rain, and it's not happened.
How many times have we rode in that pair that felt like a sweatsuit?
Yeah.
It just, you sweat.
Yeah.
It's worse than riding in the rain.
The other feature that we really like, though, is the pant legs. They're wide-legged, so they're not going to be like old school sweats and trying to put them on with them, you know, skinny pants, skinny jeans. They are wide-legged. They also have this gusset so that you don't have to take your boots off to get your pants on. You can ungusset them or undo the gusset. I don't know how the right terminology is.
Release the gusset.
And it opens up wider. What is really cool, though, is these other Velcro strips here so that once you get them on, you can actually tighten them to fit your leg.
Okay, I want to get on a soapbox right here. I've done a rain gear review. It's on my YouTube channel right now. Mm-hmm. I ran with that rain gear, and Steph, you did too, for quite a few miles. Actually, a lot of miles. And I struggled so hard because I don't have the flexibility. Not saying that I ever did. I'm just not that flexible dude. I'm about 6 foot and I weigh about 220 to 230 depending on how much I'm eating that week. And I have a problem getting my boots down in the pant legs. And this is another thing too. Rain gear is only worth what it is putting it on and how fast you can put it on the side of the road. We all know that. We're going to be more likely to pull over, throw that rain gear on if it's comfortable and easy to put on. And it does its job.
Yes, we all watch the weather, and if we see rain in the forecast, well then, okay, we're going to put our rain gear in a very handy area on the bike, say your saddlebag. But we don't ever look at the radar and be like, oh, it's going to rain in about 4 hours. Let's go ahead and put our rain gear on.
Whoever says that.
We don't do that. So when you're riding or if you stop and eat lunch, you put it on the side of the road or in a parking lot and stuff like that. And you're right. How fast can you get your rain gear on? That's very vital in rain gear and wearing a rain suit while you're riding. It's going to be pointless if you're already soaking wet because you can't get your pants on and your boots getting stuck in the zipper or your zipper's getting caught on the mesh because you can't get them zipped. Yeah.
You know, Steph and I ride, and like I said, we ride hard, fast, and heavy, and limited space is what we deal with all the time. And a lot of times I only have one pair of boots. And what happens first is that rain runs down in my boot, and that's really what soaks my boot after time. I used to not even run rain gear. I thought the Lord gave us the best rain gear there is, and that's our skin. But that doesn't keep my boots dry, and they get stinky after a while. So, like I was saying earlier, is for me to get my boot down in here was always a struggle. You'll see some of them that have the elastic down to the bottom, they put your foot through. Well, you gotta just wear your socks, put them through. Then you'll see the other ones that have the zipper, right? So then they have a layer underneath the zipper that you unzip. Still, that is a nuisance to me because I've got to bend my ass over and get that zipper undone and get it zipped back up. This is the best setup I've seen yet. Once again, what Steph just said, you just undo this. It gives you a wide, almost bell-like shape where you can get your foot down in there. You can tighten that up around your boot as tight or as loose as you want to, like that. Super easy and quick.
So you'll notice also another feature that the pants have are these little loops. And that is for the suspenders. So like I said earlier, you can purchase the pants solo or as a rain gear, rain suit kit, the top and bottom, everything. Suspenders can be sold separately also. So yeah, that's really handy. It's already made in there. If you get these, then later decide to get suspenders, you're hooked up.
Yeah, in my opinion, suspenders are worth quite a bit.
Yes.
I like the suspenders and I highly recommend them. I know sometimes money is tight, but I would highly recommend, like I said, Steph and I wear these quite a bit now. We used to feel so uncomfortable in our old Raingear. We would just rather run wet and try to outrun it or outset it. With this Raingear, I found that we wear it a lot more because it's comfortable and it breathes and it does its job. And Steph, I see her all the time. We'll be out, it gets chilly. We've been out running in the sun. She gets a little colder than I do. She's got short sleeves on like she does right now. She'll reach down and get that jacket and wear it. It's that comfortable. And it's comfortable to go in and eat. A lot of us too, like when we pull over to go eat, we don't want to take our rain gear off to go in and eat. And how many times have we gone in a restaurant and we feel like and sound like a big family bag of Doritos? You're just like walking through the restaurant. That's not the case with Nelson Raingear.
So let's talk about sizes. Nelson Rigg offers their rain gear sizes small through 4X. And I want to point this out because their sizes are true to fit. You're not going to get a medium and be able to barely get the mediums over your blue jeans when you're riding. The medium is medium, true to fit. You can wear your jeans under it, your layers, and like you mentioned earlier, you can actually put your leathers on and then put your rain gear over it. It's not going to be really tight and restricted, and it's not going to be too big. It's true to size, small through 4X.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. And like Steph saying, it being true to fit, knowing what you get, it fitting right, and having the ability to adjust it to fit right, you're going to wear this rain gear a lot more. And you're going to be able to enjoy what you bought and not just have it. It's really a great piece of equipment to have in your arsenal.
All right, so I mentioned earlier that there's 3 options of colors. They offer black, they offer the high-vis yellow/black, and then the orange/black. The jacket is the color option. All of the pants are going to be black. And of course, all the 3 options have the reflective material and accents on them.
Now, the reflection is pretty amazing too because they also have that in their luggage. And I know sometimes in the beginning of getting to know all these products and seeing what was out there on the market, I was like, come on, does that really fucking work? Come on, does that really work? It does. I mean, you can see this stuff. It's just that real quick shimmer of light, which gets your attention. We all need that on the motorcycles. There again, Nelson Rigg has thought about us.
Yes, yes, for sure. All right, guys. So like you mentioned, we run with their luggage bag also. It's the Traveler Tour Trunk Rack Bag on their Route 1 series. You guys can go check that out on our social media and here also on YouTube. Another product that they offer that we just started riding with is their Rover Pet Carrier. And our little dude, Hank, has been riding with us this past fall.
Yeah, you can go check that out too. So he's a little Frenchie, weighs about 21 pounds. He's a sweet something of a love. And it was his first time to ride. We want to thank Nelson Rigg for designing and putting a bag out there that really works for our pet and our little buddy.
Yeah.
Go check that out.
Yep, that's here on YouTube. I'm going to drop the links in the description down below. You guys, like we said, definitely go check out our website. It's thehonorary1.com. And if you're going to be out shopping, especially this holiday season, hop over to nelsonrig.com and use our code ORNERY. That's ORNERY for 20% off.
That's right, guys. 20% off, and it does support us in a way. So if you'd like to give us a little love on top of using our promo code, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, share. Love is the only thing that rings through on a rainy day when you need Nelson Rigg rain gear. Besides rain gear itself.
And just like that.
And just like that, we're going to wrap this up. Thanks for watching the Honorary One. I've had a lot of fun. Steph, have you?
Yes.
Come on, let's give a little positivity out there to the world. Nelson Rigg. Go check them out. And if you haven't seen us on the interwebs, go check us out on all the major platforms. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, TikTok, and Cinemax.
Okay.
Soon to be on Netflix. Bullshit. Maybe you can chop that up. Oh man, I need to really leather this up. I'll give you some leather love, baby. Once, twice, 3 times a lady. Somebody needs to buy this for Christmas.